Hello, I'm State Senator John Kavanagh, and this is another edition of Kavanagh's Corner. But this edition is a somber edition of Kavanaugh's Corner, because today, 9/11, is the 23rd anniversary of that tragic day when Islamic terrorists attacked America, killing nearly 3,000 people in attacks on the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and an airplane that crashed in Pennsylvania, which the terrorists were attempting to fly to D.C. and perhaps hit Congress. A tragic day. And it's a day that's especially tragic for me because among the nearly 3,000 people killed on 9/11 were 37 Port Authority of New York and New Jersey police officers, most of whom I knew, because I spent 20 years as a Port Authority police officer. And part of that time was as an instructor in the police academy. So almost all of those 37 I had trained either as recruits or during yearly in-service training. So it was a especially personal loss for me. In fact, I was a police officer in 1993 when the terrorists performed their first attack on the World Trade Center, when they detonated a truck full of fertilizer and diesel fuel in one of the lower parking levels. Several people died during that attack, and I was called down there to assist with the evacuation of the towers because there was a lot of smoke in them and they didn't know if there'd be a second bomb. And I recall it took us hours to evacuate both towers. That's why on 9/11, when I was here in Arizona, I thought that there would be over 10,000 killed based on how long it took us to evacuate the towers back in '93. But apparently they had improved the evacuation procedures and training, and there were roughly 16 to 18,000 people in both of those towers when the two planes hit them. And miraculously, only 2,753 people perished. An amazing evacuation effort. But among those who did the evacuation were 343 New York City police officers. I'm sorry, more than that, also Port Authority police officers and firefighters. So in the end, about 343 New York City firemen perished evacuating people from that building, 37 Port Authority police officers, as I said, and another 23 New York City police officers died during the evacuation effort. And as I said, a couple thousand people didn't make it out of the Trade Center. The 1993 bombing was the wake-up call that we failed to listen to. That is when we knew that the terrorists were bold enough to try to attack the very heart of America. And unfortunately, we didn't really go after them as we should have after the '93 bombing. We did after 9/11, but again, there too, they're hard to eradicate. Al-Qaeda still exists and still causes problems. And we now have new terrorist groups like Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis. The world is a dangerous place. And the memory that we should take from 9/11, besides mourning those tragically killed that day, is that the enemy is still out there. They're still after us. And we need to have a strong foreign policy and aggressively go against them so that we don't have these horrendous attacks here or anywhere else in the world. I'm State Senator John Kavanagh. On this somber day, let's all say a prayer for those who perished and for the people they left behind. Thank you.